Have you ever stopped to think about the evolution of your identity? How it has transformed over time, from focusing on what you don't have, to what you do have, to what you do, and finally to what you are. Today, we're going to explore this transformation and dive into the deeper meaning behind it, and of course, how we can achieve it. So relax and sit back and let's get started. First act is what I don't have. At the beginning of our journey, we tend to focus on what we don't have. Most grown-up people in the Western civilizations follow a never-ending feel of lack and not having enough. We may feel envious of others who seem to have more, and we may feel inadequate in comparison. We may even define ourselves by what we lack, rather than by what we possess. This stage of our identity evolution is characterized by materialism, a constant need for more, and a lack of contentment. To get out of this stage and to move on to Act 2, some understanding will be necessary. 5 things to be precise. First, envy. When we perceive that others have more than us, it can create feelings of jealousy or envy. We may feel resentful towards those who have more and compare ourselves unfavorably to them. Second, inadequacy. When we focus on what we lack, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy or inferiority. We may feel like we are not good enough or that we are somehow deficient compared to others. Third, anxiety. When we are worried about not having enough, it can lead to anxiety and stress. We may feel a constant sense of pressure or urgency to acquire more resources or achieve more success. Fourth, materialism. When we believe that having more possessions or wealth will make us happy, we may become more materialistic and focused on accumulating more. And fifth, lack of contentment. When we are always focused on what we don't have, it can be difficult to feel satisfied or content with what we do have. We may feel always like something is missing or that we're not truly happy. Overall, feeling like we don't have enough can have a negative impact on our well-being and can lead to a variety of psychological and emotional challenges. It's important to cultivate a mindset of abundance and focus on gratitude for what we do have, rather than constantly striving for more. If you have one or multiple of these 5 things in your life, now it's time to seriously think about why it is present in your life and how does it serve you. By serving, I mean, what is the benefit for you to be either envious, inadequate, anxious, materialistic, or discontent? It can be, for example, you can stay in your victim role and pity yourself. Or you can stabilize your mistrust towards yourself in your capability or even in others. Or you can hate people for abusing you and blame them for different things. The reason can be very, very individual. The goal is to work with these 5 reasons and the question I told you before. You can stop the video and write down the questions on each of the 5 topics that apply to you. You'll find examples in the description of this video. The answers you give to your questions will lead you bit by bit towards a new condition and understanding of your existence. You will transform from not having enough to defining yourself with what you have. This leads us to part 2 of this video. What I have. As we progress in our journey to mindfulness and ultimate awareness, and we consistently work on our thinking that we don't have enough, we start to shift our focus towards what we have. We begin to accumulate possessions, achievements, and experiences. And yeah, we might start to define ourselves by these external factors. We may feel a sense of pride in what we've accomplished, but at the same time, we may become attached to those things and feel a sense of loss when they're gone. Suddenly, prestige and status are more and more important in our life. We adorn ourselves with our achievements. If you understand that pride and attachment still contain pain, you will be able to move on. For most people on their journey to mindfulness and deeper awareness, this stage is a short one. Who is really into diving deeper into their own existential essence will soon realize that pride is still a toxic behavior and attachments still have huge potential to hurt us. Let me explain. Possession-focused pride contains a great amount of prioritizing oneself over others. This pride lives through realization that oneself is better, more, further, higher, or greater than somebody else. It builds on comparison and in distance to others in competition. The better your possessions and achievements are than others, the better you feel. To move on to the next stage, here are two different major possibilities. First one, having enough and realizing that more is not necessary. Or, second, understanding the illusion of comparison, possession, and attachments. Either way, the person who is constantly digging deeper in their mind and awareness will find themselves sooner than later in the next stage, because suddenly something else becomes more meaningful. And that leads us to stage 3, what I do. We start to define ourselves by our actions and our roles in society. We may identify as a doctor, a healer, a parent, or a friend. Our sense of identity becomes more intertwined with our actions and our impact on the world. This stage can be fulfilling, but it can also lead to burnout and a sense of emptiness if we become too attached to our roles. People mostly become missionaries for their beliefs. They start their own movement. They want to be seen as a person who is doing what they believe has to be done. Only a few people move to the next stage and transform themselves into an ultimate identity, when it's not about anything in the external world, but everything about the inside world. The fourth stage, what I am. Finally, we arrive at the stage of self-actualization, where we focus on what we are. We start to define ourselves by our values, our beliefs, and our inner qualities. We recognize that our true identity is not based on external factors, but on our unique essence. This stage is characterized by a sense of inner peace, fulfillment, and authenticity. For most of us, it's the moment when we realize that there is a voice in our head talking all day about everything and anything, and that this voice is not the truth, but just like a dialogue partner who is permanently in conversation with us. But it's not the truth. Only ourself is the true us. We realize that we don't need a lot. Gratitude and thankfulness trigger in our life more and more. The quality of our life starts to improve. So, as we've explored the evolution of our identity, we can see that our sense of self is constantly evolving. It's not just about what we have or what we do, but it's about who we are at our core. By focusing on our inner qualities and values, we can find true fulfillment and live a more meaningful life. So let's take a moment to reflect on our own identity evolution and see where we are on this journey towards self-actualization. If you liked this video, or if this quote impacts your life, please leave a thumbs up. It only takes about 2 seconds and helps out a lot. And let me know what you think of the meaning behind this sentence in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you soon.